Hello everybody. Today you're probably watching this video dealing with the same no-rev or bogging issue typical for these blasters that seem to have a reputation for misdiagnosis. Often it's this TORS system online. If you review the blaster forum and everywhere else, there's many solutions, but too many people have videos on YouTube with the large letters fixed or solved, and yet all you see is this condition and no solution provided. And if you're like me, you went through this whole entire process of bypassing the TORS. All of these, this goes to the carburetor, so it's not the carburetor side. All of these bypasses are on the circuit side of the TORS. They're good connections, good bypasses here, as well as right here, for both the clutch and then the TORS unit itself that goes to the carburetor. So I did the bypass and still no cure for the Bogg. But credit where credit is due. I reviewed the blaster forum online significantly, read way too much, and I believe I found the cure, and it did work for me. I'll explain that in just a minute here when I get set up, and I'll show you. So if we come over here to my consultant and we look at the 02 through 06 wiring diagram, we are looking for the CDI unit and the overall TORS control module or control unit. And for any of you that might be struggling with this diagram, don't worry, you're not alone. I will just explain this to you simply. The control unit for the TORS here and the CDI unit are in one piece. They are one unit for these late generation blasters. So when you go and look at the quad, these will be one unit. I'll show you that in just a minute. On the blaster forum, which I was referring to, credit where credit is due, one gentleman on there gives an explanation of closing the circuit. Instead of running all the bypasses on each switch, we put a bypass on this end of the circuit, we put a bypass on this end of the circuit, and the third one, I'm not even going to bother looking for it. Maybe it's the rear brake switch. I don't care. Anyway, we bypassed all of them. It didn't do diddly squat. So this gentleman on the forum mentioned that you can just bypass the circuit right out of the CDI unit. And it's this yellow wire with a black stripe. Yellow with a black stripe. And to splice into the black wire and close the circuit that way. Essentially, it's grounding this, because if you follow the black wire to its majority of use, it comes to this main ground. Now, if you're like me and you read that forum literally, you may ask yourself, do I just cut the black wire and run the yellow and black straight into it and leave the rest of this wire? I know it may sound silly to some, but there may be some of us asking that exact question. Now, because we know this black wire is the main ground for the entire wiring harness, all of this communication going on, you do not want to separate it from the rest of this use, especially because this black wire serves as the ground for the entire CDI unit. This black wire here is actually the same black wire as this one coming out. I'll show you right now. So here's your CDI unit. It's one piece. And here's your black wire here. Only one coming out. There's a black with a red stripe. That's not the same one. So there's only one black wire, one ground. And this is the yellow with a black stripe. Now, these are connected and all of these other bypasses are in. If I turn this on right now, it would do the same bogging sound. In fact, I'll just do it to prove it to you, so no, there's no doubts. Ready? So this shows you that this circuit is essentially functioning the way it's supposed to. I cut this yellow wire with the black stripe, but I put this jumper back on to reconnect it so we would mimic the condition of if none of this was tampered with and everybody was just doing their bypass. Now, instead of cutting into this black wire and running a T here, or if you're like me and you take it literally and you would just splice this directly to the black and then leave the rest of the black, like I said, don't do that. But because you know this black wire is a ground, just ground this wire. And I'll show you the solution right now. Alright, so I ran a jumper straight to the clutch actuator to this yellow wire with a black stripe, but I also ran a new ground from here all the way down. I'll show you. I wanted it well grounded to the engine, so I ran it all the way down to right here. So put some shrink fit on there, took this nut out and put a nice fitting on there, tighten it down really well. So later I'll just zip tie this on. This will act as the main ground, a new ground wire, so to speak. But just wanted to show you guys. This is the key, the cure. So I took all the stupid bypasses out, these two and this one, and this is now ground. And watch what happens. So, all of you who are still struggling with that bogging, no-rev type condition, do yourself a favor. Cut this yellow wire with a black stripe and ground it. And ground it really well. And take out your bypasses here. You don't need them. After you cut this, you essentially eliminate all of these. And the one down there, okay? I hope that helps all of you. I hope that gives you the answers you've been looking for, and gives you the evidence that this is a true fix. So if you guys like seeing this stuff and you want more, stay tuned, because I'm going to put a graphics kit. I got it waiting right over there. Graphics kit will be going on this blaster. This blaster's for my father. So I wanted to do something nice, get him a cool little graphics kit. Alright, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. If this helps you guys, very good. I hope it does. That's what this video is intended for. Good luck. Let me know if this helps solve your problem as well. Thank you. Okay guys, here's the final product, just so you see the proof. Shrink wrapped the fitting. Here's that ground wire, ran all the way down to the engine. And I'm going to start it up one more time for you and show you that it revs up. And it works really well. There you go. Hope it helps you guys out. Hope it saves you a lot of time and trouble. Keep wrenching, guys. We'll figure it out.